What's up, folks? I'm back for a short time here, but this all is coming to a head, and I want to be part of this, and I want to be able to share what I've been sharing for so long. So here we are. This is the architect of the system, as we know, the system of the corruption. The architect's note. We proved the architectural survived the operation. This is the chapter that proves the architecture tried to erase its own memory. The first 5 parts showed the confession, the erasure, the installation, the mutation, and the inheritance. You watched the shadow operating system replace the republic, one subsystem at a time. But a machine is only as powerful as its memory. And in 2021, the machine tried to erase itself. This is not a story about a riot. It's a story about a government deleting its eyes, outsourcing its truth, and losing the one thing a nation, state cannot afford to lose: a shared reality. This is the meltdown, the blinding event. The system loses its eyes. Every system lives and dies by its feedback and loops. That's not politics, that's mechanics. A state needs sensors. Who saw what happened? Records. What does the data say? Narrative. How does the public understand it? Remove any one of these and the system limps. Remove all 3, the system dies. In 2021, the Shadow OS experienced something worse than a glitch. It experienced a panic response. The Secret Service wiped. The public was told it was a device migration. The bureaucratic housekeeping note, but the forensic record shows something else. Text message wiped, geolocation wiped, access logs wiped, executed during a presidential transition, executed after Congress requested the data. This wasn't IT incompetence. This was digital lobotomy. A system deleting the sensory organs caused closest to the power. And the motive is the same motive we've seen since episode 1. The evidence was more dangerous than the crime of destroying it. This is not the first time the system has done this. It is merely the first time the public noticed. When WTC7 fell, the steel was shipped out before a full forensic test. When the IRS faced a scandal's multiple, the videotapes were accidentally destroyed. Every time the system approached an audit, it suffered target amnesia. The pattern is the confession. The erasure is the defense. Cut through the euphemism. When a soldier blinds his own scout, he's not confused. He's hiding the army's movement. The state did not lose these records. It erased its ability to know, because the truth would have destabilized the operating system. Fear, not incompetence, is the through line. Privatized truth. The censorship industrial complex. If the system can't save itself with data, it saves itself with narrative. But here's the problem. The government cannot legally censor citizens, so it did the next best thing. It outsourced the censorship. SIO platforms. This is the pipeline. CISA, a DHS unit, frames misinformation as a security risk. Election Integrity Partnership deputized academics, plus NGOs. Those NGOs sent thousands of takedowns tickets to the platforms comply under the guise of voluntary cooperation. The public experienced the result as a clown would reality collapse. This is not conspiracy. It is architecture. How it worked. The state identifies dangerous narratives. NGOs write the reports. Platforms enforce the deletions. Everyone pretends nothing happened. The Virality Project even listed true but inconvenient content as a threat category. When the state cannot control the truth directly, it controls the pipe that the truth flows through. The clown layer. Diagnosis. When the fact checkers can't define truth, they define virtue. And when virtue becomes a content policy, reality becomes a vibe. Analysis. Left versus right. Flame wars aren't organic disagreements. They're the exhaust fumes of a system that replaced shared facts with algorithm tribes. The clown world feeling is not an accident. It is the collateral effect of a privatized truth infrastructure. The collapse of the shared reality. The meltdown. Here is the hidden cost of erasure censorship. When the system destroys its eyes and outsources its voice, it loses its mind. Epistemic break. We no longer disagree about interpretation. We disagree about what happened. Half of the country believes one timeline, half believes another. The ledger, the agreed upon record of events, has disappeared. The feedback loop failure. This is where Yoko's collaboration comes in. If a system outputs media narratives and no longer match its inputs, grounds truth, the user stops trusting the interface. The user logs out. That's what the American public has done. These curves show it. Trust in media, sub 20%. Trust in Congress, single digits. Trust in federal agencies collapsing. Trust in voting system fractured by party. Trust in the expertise dead. A state can survive scandal. It cannot survive fragmented reality. When the nation loses its ledger, it loses its legitimacy. The verdict. Do you see the loop now? They told you it was an incompetence. They told you it was a migration error. They told you it was no product. Protect the public. But I have lived this timeline before, and this is what it looks like when the system prepares to die. A system does not destroy its own eyes unless it fears what the eyes will see. A system does not outsource truth unless it can no longer speak honestly. A system does not fracture reality unless reality has turned against it. They wiped the phones not to hide a riot, but to hide the fact that the system itself has stopped functioning. They shattered consensus because consensus would have revealed the rot. This is not a glitch. It is a confession. The system is dead. We are living inside the echoes of its suicide. The next salvo, exclusive access. Before you finish reading this, you need to know about the new blade we forget. The momentum of this rebellion does not stop, and neither does our rate of production. Even as you read this over, the next full length inside the foreign briefing is waiting for the War Council. In the next chapter, we are going to dig deeper into the Shadow, Ark, Fallout, and the running diagnostics on the first wave of applicants. From our call for officers, we are not just debating philosophy anymore. We are actively building the leadership structure of the phalanx. This constant, exclusively flow operational intel is the primary benefit that the rebels contract. You are always on the front line of strategy. If you haven't upgraded your membership yet, know this: the Forge never stops running. Don't fall behind. Join the forces. Scout the high ground. If you can see the fracture, you're already above it. Most people drown in the noise. Most people mistake this battle for the sign. Most people see the meltdown and think it's politics. It hasn't. It's architecture. If you want part 7, the verdict, the chapter, where we lay out why the system always collapses the same way and every empire dies of the same disease. Join the Forge. Go check that out. The system's collapsing. The plan has worked. It's just a matter of time before it's all finally done. One more round. The scout on the high ground. If you can see the fracture, you're already above it. Most people drown in the noise. Most people mistake the static for the signal. Most people see the meltdown and think it's politics, but it isn't. It's an architecture. The primary source, links inside this Shadow Ark, is System Meltdown Research Dossier, the Secret Service Data Destruction, DHS OIG memos on device migration, House Oversight Secret Service letters, NARA data loss statements, internal Social Security communication discrepancies, forced amnesia pattern, WIC 7 steel recycling timeline, IRS multiple simultaneous hard drive crashes, CIA tape distraction, the DOD audit failures, censorship industrial complex, CISA and MDM framework docs, election integrity partnership report, virality project means, platform correspondence showing government pressure, epistemic collapse literature, Rand truth decay, Cambridge epistemic security, Oxford post consensus politics. And there, folks. I suppose chew on that for a minute. See if it makes any sense. God, thank your lucky stars, thank God, and thank your military and Donald Trump.